Yo, sack that fool. Hit him, 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 hit him. Smash him up. Watch that move. Went too swift, can't catch these dudes. Can't hit him, 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 hit him. Listen, 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 hit him, listen. It's Eagles talk high. It's talk Eagles. Philly bleed green. It's from your people. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's beat the squad. Big Pat shelling. Dante the dark job. Drop the stats on him. Drop the facts on him. Spur game, baby. Let's get it on.
Hey fam, it's your man Dante the Dark Knight, and welcome to another edition of Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook that's by Eagles fans, for Eagles fans. Yo, I'm still riding the high, as we all are, still riding the high of our Philadelphia Eagles winning their first game of the season versus Atlanta Falcons versus the Atlanta Falcons last week. What a wonderful game it was. Every game is wonderful when we wind up with a W, which we did, and it was impressive. It was a 32-6 blowout win over the Atlanta Falcons, a game in which we went into and we were not favored. Number one, the experts and even us kind of thought it was an evenly matched game. A closer game than what it turned out to be. To our surprise and our delight, it was a blowout. It was a blowout, and it was impressive after seeing what this team did last year, to see what they did only in week one. And I know people are saying it's only Atlanta, but to us, that was very encouraging and very impressive to see our team come out and win in such a blowout win. A lot of good things. There might be some not so good things, but at this point, I'm not nitpicking. I'm just happy. So without further ado, I'm joined here today with my co-host, Patrick Sandlin, and Nichelle down there. You guys, how's it going?
Awesome. Awesome.
I can't complain. Long day.
Yeah, I hear that. All right, guys, let's jump right into it, man. We're going to get this first quarter started. You are watching Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook by Eagles fans, for Eagles fans. We like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. Yes, we get inebriated here on this telecast. So join us, get inebriated with us. I hope you're home. Don't drive and do this. Do it at home. And let's talk about how fun it was to watch our Philadelphia Eagles win last week. So I am going to open up with, and I'm not on set. I left set today because last week was a nightmare as far as technical difficulties and such. So I asked to be pardoned so I can come and give you guys the quality production that you are used to getting from Eagles Talk. So I'm here in person. All right, so here we go. I'm doing the Terramana.
Yes.
Tequila. And Pat is doing, what are you doing?
The same old thing, Terramana.
He's doing Terramana. And what? Oh, that's wine. Okay, I was about to say, yo, we was about to stop the presses. She's got a bottle up there. Okay.
Redhead red. Nah,
She
I
has
got too
redhead
much
red.
going on to be doing shots.
We got a Saints fan in the house.
Oh, yeah?
Brandon Tillery, Greg Tillery's son. What's up, Brandon?
Look, I mean,
that's what's up.
they have every right to be happy. I mean,
they
Winston's
do.
balling. He's my other QB on my fantasy. So
Really?
All right, okay. So here we
I'm
go.
sorry, Pat. My bad, Pat. What was the score again, Pat? How much I beat you by?
All right, here we go. Let me know what you're drinking out there as we salute our victorious Philadelphia Eagles. Everyone down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the
All right, so let's jump right into it. This is upon further ado where we go over the game on Sunday. And as I said in the opening, what a wonderful game. What a pleasant surprise to see our team perform the way they perform. I'm going to ask each one of you, what was your biggest takeaway from the win on Sunday? And let ladies go first in the shell. What's your biggest takeaway on what occurred on Sunday?
That maybe we should give Hurts the respect that he's earned through college and coming into the pros, and let's kill this. He has to go above and beyond and work twice as hard to get half the respect that mediocre quarterbacks get. That's what I learned. I learned that a lot of that stuff was unfounded and that the young boys all stepped up, not just Hurts, but all of them. All the young guys on our team stepped up and it gelled good with the veterans that we did have. So I think we were all hair on fire for nothing because we weren't used to having such a huge rebuild, new coach, new team all at once. But it looks like it's starting to work out. And nobody's saying, oh, we're going to the Super Bowl, but we're going to be competitive. We can at
Mm.
least squash that.
I mean,
I'm
that's the
still
thing of the
salty
thing.
with some of the sports folks on WIP,
Ah,
John Ritchie,
Yeah, yeah.
who's still questioning
Gloom and
everybody's
doom.
talent. Like, bro, you played before. How in the world are you so critical of these young players and players that are actually putting on pads now when you were a player? I know you're on the media side now, but just his criticism sometimes is just over the top, doom
Well,
and
he has to have
gloom.
he has to have a strong take. But besides that, listen, that boy Jordan Malala, he deserved
Man,
every single penny he got.
Mulatto's a
Yo,
beast.
it was so crazy because everybody talk about the one play where he on the screen to Rager where he destroyed that defensive back. He destroyed him. Basically, that's 187.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even the play that I'm talking. The play I'm talking about is the play where he threw his right hand out to give Isaac Salamu, his guard mate, a hand. He threw his right hand out to the
Yeah.
defensive tackle, and he basically with one arm threw the guy to the ground.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that too. That was
You
amazing.
know, that offensive line was outstanding. Freaking Jason Kelsey or Kelsey, how you want to say it. He showed some tenacity. He said, I don't care how old I am. I don't care if this is my last season or not. I'm going out with a bang. The way he pulled and took two guys out and was just dominating. Isaac Salamalu, I'm not gonna say his name right ever. Was Pro Football Focus number one guard, rated number one guard last week. So his offensive line has done wonders. The one thing they do need to stop doing is going off sides.
Yeah.
But besides that, I mean that line did have a flawless game.
They left bodies.
They
They
left
left.
Yeah.
bodies. They left
It's a good
bodies.
day when the O line leaves bodies.
All right. My biggest takeaway was what a job. I guess I'm a cheat. Can I cheat? All right, I'm a cheat because I got two big takeaways. All right, so the biggest takeaway, I agree with Nichelle about the uh, Jalen Hurts doubt and all that, and it needs to be squashed right now because that was an impressive game on his part. Me and Pat talked a little earlier, and I've heard some people say there was a lot of meat left on the bone, and maybe there was, but I can't. This is not the game for me to point out what mistakes he made because coming into the season, a lot of people thought that he was not the future. He doesn't have it, and his accuracy is off, and all that. And for one game, he dispelled all that. So after that one game is not the time for me or anyone to bring up what he did wrong. Because compared to what you guys were judging him on, he's improved. He improved every category in that first game. You said he wasn't accurate. All right, 77% completion rate last week. You said that you didn't know if he had the arm. He made that bullet throw to Goddard in the end zone was on the money, and it was a laser.
Mhm.
Yeah, so this game is not the game that I'm going to use to say he left some meat on the bones or he can improve. And I heard his press conference. He says he has to do that, which is great coming from him because he knows he's always trying to get better. But for me, I'm I'm great with what he did. If he does that all year and doesn't improve on anything, if he gives me that performance every week this year, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
okay with
his
that.
his professionalism and his poise at such a young age also should be commended.
Mm,
In a landscape where people don these, these young QB superstars and they can, get out of pocket sometimes. But, the hurts hate that we have and people like you said, Dante, they won't let it go.
mm.
Well, this ball was short and they are really nitpicking him, and it's kind of making me angry. It's like, why this brother got to get so much heat For
Because
real?
you
Because Lawrence, what he have? He had 3 TDs, but he also had 3 picks. I don't hear nearly as much, oh, he's not quarterback caliber, he's not NFL caliber, as I do with long hair boy, as I do with Jalen Hurts. And that's problematic for me.
I get you. Now uh, my second biggest takeaway is what a job Nick Sirianni and the coaching staff did. We had big question marks about that, and we don't know what the future holds. But if it has any semblance of what we saw on week one, we're in good shape. We have a coach, ladies and gentlemen. If this is any indication of what's going to happen going forward, this guy had, save for the penalties. That's the only downfall I'll give him. Save for the penalty, this team was prepared and well coached during the game, and that has to be very exciting. And people need to be enthusiastic over that. Now, you remember his opening press conference was a disaster. We killed him on that. I pumped the brakes a little bit and said, look, I'm not judging this guy on how he speaks to the public. I'm going to judge him on his X's and O's and his W's. And so far, his X's and O's look great on Sunday, and because of that, we came out with a W. So that's all I'm judging them on, and the way that this team performed in that first game. They came out and they look ready. They look fresh. The defensive coordinator even made adjustments. They made adjustments. When's the last time we saw in-game adjustments? Not game-to-game adjustments, but like, yo, this is not working. We need to change. And not at halftime either. I mean,
No,
JG,
right?
he made adjustments in the first half because those first 2 drives by the Falcons, I was a little nervous. I was like, oh, my God, they just going up
Suspect.
and down.
Yeah.
But he made adjustments after those first 2 drives, and after 6 points, as you can see, they scored no more. And in the second half, it was just they pitched a complete shutout in the second half.
they were dominant. Let's be honest. Like I said before, in the post game, they went from a 3-4 odd man front to 4 down linemen. At certain times, they went down 5 defensive linemen. They said, "Yo, block our guys." When they did that, game was over. It was a wrap.
Yeah.
It was. I call him Sunshine too, Brandon. I see you out there.
All right, so yeah, I've been holding off on
Remember
our
the
4th
Titans.
co-host. So let me without further ado, let me bring in our 4th co-host, and that's you guys that's in the room. We thank you guys for supporting the show and showing up. You give us conversations, so to speak. So the first person in the room tonight was Moses. He says, "What's up, homies? First place." Yes, we are first place because everyone else in the NFC East lost. Isn't that incredible? We are leading a division that we're not picked to win. We'll see how it plays out. I know it's only 1 week. All right. So second person was JT, Fly Eagles Fly. And what a wonderful time it is on post game and upon further review when we win. We have so much more fun. Why don't they always win? I mean, can't they do that for us? Like, they don't understand how much they bring to this show when they win. It's such a happy atmosphere. All right, Drexel is out there. He says hello. B. Dizzle says Eagle Nation. Tony Barron, our resident from down under. What time is it, Tony? Is it 2 o'clock in the morning? He's up and he's following the Eagles talk, man. I'm very honored. I'm honored that he takes the time out and follow this show, being that there's a big hourly difference. It's like already tomorrow, right? It's already Friday to him. Richard Boo is up there. What's up, Richard? Youssef Swoop. Tony Barron has someone dug up that poor Falcons TV or played some tombstone on the field.
Baldy broke that play down, and he said he has a little bit of rugby still in him at 6'8", 390 pounds. He just said, you know what, I'm gonna hit you, I'm gonna destroy you.
All right, B Dizzle says, tell Bow Wow quick about those Eagles.
Yes,
have you guys seen that? Did you see that?
Yo, he said, Tig, why you playing Meek Mill? Why you playing Meek Mill? You playing to do something.
So mad I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
Oh, my God. Yeah, it was a good time. Bill Crow, what's up, everyone? What's up, Bill? Sharif, what's up, good people? What's up, Sharif? Brandon Tillery, much love. What's up, Brandon? Oh, man, yo. So we had it was a great time. It's always, awesome. Eagles victory is always a great backdrop to this show here when we have an Eagle. You know, the last time we appeared, live on opening day was pre-pandemic,
Mhm.
and it was probably one of the. I think we had won the past two opening day games. So we appeared at Green Stinger, and
We gotta put this one up.
this was last year, wasn't it? It was
Yeah, we
last
gotta
year
put this
because
one
it
up.
was
I'm
a bad
sorry.
year. Yeah, so the pandemic was in effect, but it wasn't a full lockdown yet. Okay,
Yeah.
so we appeared there and we lost, and which led to a 4-12 season. And let me tell you how much it stinks to be somewhere live and the Eagles lose. I mean, we were getting heckled. We were
Yeah.
getting heckled because it wasn't a bird's nest bar. It was
Nah.
like
Oh.
majority of bird's nest, but it was other fans there too. And I was like, wow, this is not fun.
This
I've never
sucks.
experienced being somewhere live that wasn't a bird's nest venue and being received like that. So back to the happy days. We win. It's such a wonderful day. The flowers are more colorful than
Birds are
before, and everything's sharper, and it's just a nice time. So we're going to hopefully these guys can keep up that feeling this week, because the 49ers coming in is going to be a big test. I don't want to jump on them too much because I want to still bask in this victory over the Atlanta Falcons. So I have gone back and watched the game, and
Yes, definitely.
I've watched it about 3 or 4 times. It's a game that you like to watch when you see all the good things that
Mhm.
happen. And one thing I noticed, going back to Jalen Hurts, man, is how prepared he was for what he was seeing, how he got rid of the ball, got the ball out of his hands, and quickly. And the times that he didn't, he used his feet just enough to buy him some time and buy his receivers time to make plays. So, again, I can't say enough about the great job Jalen Hurts does, and I hope that he improves on what he did. But if he gives me an exact same game next week, I'm gonna feel okay with that.
Yeah,
He
you
got
know
me
what?
fantasy points, right, Pat?
Listen, anyway. All right.
Oh, that
Anyway.
was a smack down. Oh my goodness, I went past that too. Oof,
Anyway, back to the
oof.
breakdown of the game.
All
You know
right.
what? You know what? As we do watch the film, there were a lot of plays that was left out there. Like you said, Jalen did acknowledge that there was a lot of meat left on the bones. There are a lot of plays, a lot of points that was basically left out of there, especially those fourth down conversions that didn't happen. Uh, we left points on the board there. We have a couple of scrambles where Jalen, if we would have stayed in the pocket for one more second, he had a guy streaking wide open. But those are correctable. Those things are correctable through film study. And when you acknowledge it right after the game, I know you're gonna be better the next game.
Mhm.
So
And that's
I'm looking
Mhm.
forward to see what he can bring
He
this
has the
game.
work ethic. He has
He
the
does.
work ethic.
He
He's not
does.
making excuses. He look at all he had to go through, all the quarterback controversy.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, our former quarterback couldn't handle quarterback controversy, but our new one does.
Oh,
He
he's
didn't
cool.
care what
He's
name you
cool.
threw at him to take his spot. He just stayed the course.
Well, he's a top notch. He's a football player. He's a
Mhm.
team player. You can tell what happened with Alabama. He got benched for Tua. Tua got injured. He came in there and won him the championship game. Not
Hello?
not the not the national championship, but the SEC championship game. Then he went over to Oklahoma and he put up Heisman numbers. He put up 52 touchdowns, over 4,000 yards total. So this guy put up stats that should have won him the Heisman if Joe Burrow wasn't coming out that same year. So he can do it in this type of offense, and this offense is geared towards him.
And Winston even come from a program like Hertz came.
Nah.
Hertz
mhm.
and Sirianni are both coaches' kids.
Yeah.
So that's all through their family. Fun fact though, Sirianni played college ball at Mount Union. For the local Jersey folks,
Hmm.
back then was the same time the Timber Creek coach played. Also, a friend of mine was playing, and Mount Union was Rowan University's nemesis back then in
And,
football
Wow.
for the
and I
national
and I had a part.
championship.
And I had a partial
Oh,
scholarship there.
oh, thank
That
you.
was
Thank
Rowan's
you for that.
nemesis. So
Yeah.
Rowan used to battle. My peoples used to battle with Nick Sirianni back when he played at
But
Mount
Nick
Union.
will tell you they won three championships in a row.
I know. I know. Look. I was on the losing end of that. Being in the stands out in Ohio, was there, watched him play.
Wow.
All right, let's end this quarter, man.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, so you're watching Eagles Talk, a very happy Eagles Talk show because our Philadelphia Eagles are 1-0. We are on a one-game winning streak. We have won one in a row, and we're going for two in a row.
Wait. You're wrong.
What?
Round 1 is over. All right. Now it's time for round 2.
Yeah, that's Nick Sirianni. That's a quote from Nick Sirianni. Equating this season or the first game as round 1 in a 17-round bout. That's what this
Knock
season
him
is,
out.
a
Body blow.
17-round bout. And first game was just round 1, so we won round 1. And he said it in the context that you in a heavyweight title fight, you can win round 1 and get a little too happy and come out and lose round 2 and 3 and lose your momentum. So just think of it as round 1, and we have 16 more rounds to go. So we got to keep fighting. So I hope that these guys, so far, it looks like they are soaking up everything he says, and it's translating to the field. So we just hope that it continues on in week 2. In week 2, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but I'm looking forward to it because it's going to tell a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game. It'll be a good test. I mean, they got a little bit of injuries going on, but I still can't get over how Kelsey was plowing the road and tossing people like rag dolls.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah.
I watched that play at least a dozen times.
That's a lot of nasty we like to see. All right, so you're watching Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. And we like to talk about our favorite football team, the one that won on Sunday, the one that's 1-0, the one that's leading the NFC East. We like to talk about them in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. I am doing the Terramana tequila. Pat is doing the Terramana tequila. And Michelle is doing the red wine. Let me know what you're doing out there, and we'll start off this second quarter by going to some comments. So, down the hatch for our Philadelphia Eagles and their first win. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
All right, let's see what they're saying out there. What, the live video gets keep? Oh, you gotta check your internet connection, Nell. We don't have any hiccups here. When we don't have the hiccups, then we know it's not our fault. Now, last week we had hiccups. I went and looked at the show again. I had to do upon further review on Eagles Talk, and I had to go back and dissect our performance. And mine sucked because I had crappy service, and I kept going in and out. So, but today I'm back in the studio, so hopefully we won't have that problem. So if you're having a little problem out there, Neil, we have no problem admitting when we have hiccups here, but we're not having any hiccups tonight.
Stop and restart.
Yeah, stop and restart. Bill Crow says Hurts seems to be able to read the defense pretty well. I'm optimistic he can do the same Sunday because Eagles haters on networks aren't giving us a chance. No, they're not, which is a great segue into what Pat had showed me earlier that I didn't get a chance to see it because I'm on set. So Pat, share with us what's been going on TV. I'm not able to see it.
I saw all these analysts are talking about. All right, the Eagles did what he is supposed to do against a lowly, terrible Falcons team when actually everybody picked the Falcons to beat us. So now they say, what can they do against a team as the San Francisco 49ers with their defense? They can't do anything against that defense. Bart Scott, the former NFL linebacker, has stated that if the 49ers lose to the Eagles, he will shave off one of his eyebrows.
First of all, that's a bitch-ass move. You want to shave off one eyebrow. You ain't really putting yourself out there. You ain't putting yourself out there. Like, what's an eyebrow?
Like, do both.
Yeah, like, do both eyebrows. Shave something. I mean, come on, man. That's a safe.
That's corny.
Corny in itself.
It is.
And second of all, you coming at our Eagles like we have no chance in the world. That's bull crap right there.
Listen,
So
he don't got no eyebrows anyway.
I mean,
yeah,
and to your point, Pat, it
Oh,
was
sleeping
all
up
the
there.
Falcons. They can't handle the Falcons. Blah blah blah. And then we
Uh-huh.
beat the Falcons, and it was well, they wasn't that good anyway. Make up your
I
mind.
know, right?
Make up your
Exactly.
mind. You
First,
just
we
said we
can't beat
weren't
them.
even as good as the Falcons, and now you're saying, well, they weren't that good. You should
Well,
have beat them. Well, you didn't have us beating them. You picked them to beat
correct,
us.
correct. And
Yes.
now, and
Stop
now they
moving the goalpost.
now they have another built-in excuse now because you say, you know what, they lost their number one corner in Jason Veritek. They lost their number two linebacker in Dre Greenlaw. Now they got to have an excuse to say,
Who?
you know, the 49ers. The 49ers
Hmm.
just lost two of their top defenders.
Didn't they lose their
To
running
injury.
back too?
And
Yeah,
they're
Mozart.
in
They
their top
lost because
running
I
back.
picked up the
So
backup.
Elijah. Now they're gonna have an excuse. They have a built-in excuse, so they're gonna
Hmm.
move the goalposts
Hmm.
again after we come in there and dominate them up front. Like I said the last game. Actually, I went back and said Dante said the same thing during the pregame about the offensive line and defensive line being dominant. If we have that right now, we have healthy offense and defensive line. No team in this league that doesn't have that in place will be successful. Right now, we have that in place and we'll be very successful within this league.
Yeah,
Look,
come on. Put up Mike's comment about the Lions and the 49ers. I mean, what did the 49ers do last year that we should be so afraid of?
Not enough.
right? Exactly. And and and,
I'm
and look at
sorry.
this. I don't care who the freak gets hurt. You're on the schedule, and your lineup, whatever, how healthy or unhealthy it is who we are playing. No one gave us the benefit of the doubt when our offensive line was in shambles
Nope.
last year because of injury. They called us a horrible team
14 different starting offensive
because
linemen.
we were 4-12. They didn't say, "Oh, the Eagles were injured. They could bounce." No, we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. We're going to play the team in front of us, and I'm not sorry that you have some people missing. Join the crowd. We were there last year.
We was
We had a
there
lot of
3 years
people
ago.
missing.
We didn't make
Shit,
those
we was
excuses
there
3
when we
years.
won the Super Bowl, and we won the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? We was
I was at a
decimated
bomb.
with injuries then, and we,
Bum, bum, bum,
next man up
bum.
mentality, we won. But anyway, I don't care about that. I don't care what
Mhm.
these people are saying about the injuries and stuff like that. That's a part of the game, and we had to eat it up last year. And if the 49ers have to eat it up this year, then so be it. So be it.
No
We
excuses.
can only play who is on our schedule, and we don't control who's there and who's not.
But speaking
That's
of
right.
that, it is shaping up for us to be a very, very to win this division. Because you look at the Cowgirls, they just lost one of their top linemen because you don't want to get drug tested. They just lost their top defensive player in D Law to a broken foot. You know, they just lost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's one too.
He is. I hate him, man. I hate him. He's
They
a
just-
he's an
The
ego
salty
hater.
midget.
Yeah.
They just
And
lost.
Dallas was doing
Dallas.
good. I can't even front. And I'm obviously
Man,
they're
listen,
my nemesis.
They're not.
But now it looks like it's going downhill for them.
Hey, listen, sometimes the sun got to shine on the dogs behind too once in a while.
I know that's right.
All
I
right,
know
so
that's right.
that's their shine right there. Let them get the little shine. Week 3, we're gonna bust that ass. But right now, these 49ers going to get this work.
Yeah, they gonna get
That's
this
right.
work.
That's right.
Round
And there's a
2.
lot of
Ding,
49er
ding.
fans in this area, one being my cousin, another being my college friend. So
Yeah, it's
let's
49ers
have at
fans.
it. Let's
Look,
have at it.
my favorite player of all time is Jerry Rice.
Oh, I
My
mean,
favorite-
he's
my
a
favorite
goat.
player of
He's a
all
time
goat.
is
Jerry
He's a
Rice.
goat. I mean,
But
back in those days, liking other players and other teams outside of the Cowboys, I mean, was okay. I mean, and even then, there's a
And
lot
that
of
was
players
then.
from that
I mean,
era
like,
that was, a lot that did a lot
do
for
have
the
to talk
sport.
about this. We do have to talk about this. This is very crucial right here. Richard
that shit don't mean nothing. Go ahead, but go ahead. I'd like to talk about it. Go ahead.
I was actually going.
Dante, tell us how you really feel.
I mean, it don't, man.
That's
I ain't
the crazy
afraid of
thing
that.
is-
You
Wait,
real
what you just
crotchety
said-
tonight.
The
What you
motherfucker
said,
couldn't even
it's
make
the
the squad. Why am I be
same
afraid? He can't. You know what I mean? Why am I afraid of a guy that can't make the squad? He probably don't even know the playbook.
He
You know
can't
what I mean?
make
I'm
the
saying,
club.
like, yo,
Why I'm mad at you? You can't even get in the club.
you can't even get in the club, yo.
Can't even
I
sit
think
with
they
us.
ring. I think they run. Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna tell them? Like, yo,
Yeah, he ain't gonna tell him nothing.
he
Man.
ain't make. He ain't even
I
make
actually
the
I don't
was
think
squad.
they
gonna say
scratched
that.
the surface
No, they
on
didn't.
plays
because they had 2 weeks where
whatsoever.
they actually did installs. Those 2 weeks where there was no press, and after preseason, that's when they actually did installs. When they installed the playbook. So he wasn't around at that time because he was already cut.
Right. And
Yeah.
if you listen to folks, my football sensei will always be the likes of Ray Didiger.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I love Ray.
He gives a balanced
Yeah.
assessment of everything. He don't get up too high, he don't get down too
Yeah.
low. He just gives it to it how it is, and he doesn't add all this extra. But
And he
if you
said the
listen to
Eagles going
Dave
10-7.
Spadera, if you listen to Dave Spadero, he said they purposely did not show things during preseason. Most of the looks that you would actually see in the season were done during the dual practices they had with the other teams. That's when they actually opened up their playbook to see what it works. And if you remember, we dominated all of our dual practices.
Right.
We were what 4-0.
Yeah,
Right.
we and that's when they actually opened the playbook that they were actually going to use on game day.
Yeah.
And if I could interrupt, Sirianni has said we haven't even we have a lot more. Like
Yeah.
we haven't even begin to scratch the surface of what he has in his playbook and the looks that he can give them. He hasn't even scratched the surface in the first game. So don't think that we shot our load in week one. Nick has some more things
You're going to dig
up
in
his
the
sleeve.
crates.
And it's going to be,
Round two.
it's about
Robo-dope.
it's round 2. That's right. So,
Tell him,
Nope.
DJ Pack, he gonna dig in the crates. He gonna dig in the crates for the hits. He ain't even bust out the classics and the hits yet.
let me move to the defense because this is something I read and something I didn't pay attention to too much when in watching the replay, but I did read. JG on defense played everybody.
Yes, he did.
Everybody got snaps on Sunday. I love that philosophy. He said, I'm not, with the rate of injury sometimes going on, he said, I don't want to wait until somebody gets hurt and then bring their backup in who hasn't been playing, doesn't have a feel for the game. He said he wants to get everybody some time, some snaps and all, and they all played on Sunday. And if their result was any indication, that's a great philosophy because they were fresh, number one, because they rotated so many people. And we saw how once the Eagles turned it into a one-dimensional game where the 49ers had to play catch-up,
Falcons.
their ears were pinned back, and then the defensive line just went crazy.
Yeah.
And if we can somehow establish that against the 49ers, I see the results being the same. Once our defensive line or our defense is in go-get-'em mode, once they see blood in the water, this defensive line is crazy, yo.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and we saw it on Sunday. And Fletcher Cox, if you look at his box, his stat line, it didn't look impressive and all that, but Fletcher Cox still demands a double team, and that double team opens it up for everyone that's playing alongside of him at that particular time. And who ate this week? Hargrave ate this week.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Ate this week. And that was a continuation of what we was hearing in training camp. He has really come in and shown us that this is the player that we envisioned when we signed him last offseason.
I have to do this. I have to do this before we go farther. I have to throw a flag on Angelo in the morning crew.
Flag on the play.
Reason being, he came at Fletcher Cox. He said, "We gave you all this money. You ain't do a squat. You didn't put nothing. No stats on the stat sheet. He don't understand football. This guy influenced the game. He's the reason why Ridgeway, the reason why Hargrave got these pressures, these sacks. By commanding a double team, when you have a 5-man defensive front and you command a double team, you leave a man wide open, right? So when you that dominant, you affect the game in different ways. He affected the game in a way where he got everybody else to eat. He got the two other defensive tackles that normally wouldn't even have their names in the stat sheet to get some sacks, get some pressures, get some tackles. Fletcher Cox does way more than we give him credit for because we just want him to do what Aaron Donald does, get sacks. But that doesn't win championships all the time. You got to be a team player. You got to be a team player in order to be a dominant defense.
And I'm glad you called him out on the carpet on that because Aaron Donald is a magnificent player, specimen, and all that. And for all the sacks he has, please tell me how many championship rings he has. I'll wait. Okay. All right. No, he has none. He has none to our Fletcher Cox's one. That's right. I can actually make that argument now. You know, before 2017, we could never make an argument with that in the sentence. But now we can. I can still got a little swag even 3 years down. Fletcher Cox is a beast. He's been a beast. He's not Aaron Donald, but Aaron Donald's not Fletcher Cox either. No. Aaron Donald has
another fun fact about Fletcher. You know, he's in the group that's my oldest son age, even though he looks old. But Fletcher Cox was at our homecoming, our high school homecoming here in November, trying to be incognito.
Oh yeah, well, how can a big guy like that
he was because there's a lot of other former football players that are there from college or to high school. So he did blend. A couple people noticed who he was. I kind of noticed. I was just like whatever, because we was all into the game. You know, it was a rival game. But yeah, Fletcher Cox was at our football game for homecoming. You know, they're all in the same age, so you know, the dating life and the things he's doing is actually with my oldest son's classmates. So they're all in the same kind of crew.
That's what they're
doing.
They're screwing other people's wives and all that.
No, not like that. No, that's not what I meant.
Fletch, I'm just playing. Fletch,
stop playing. That's not what I meant. I'm just saying my son goes to high school went to high school with whoever he's dating.
Stop.
But let's talk about the linebackers, Pat. Let me get your rating, because
let's get this shot in first.
Hold on, that's the end of the second quarter. We end the quarter. Let's end the quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, so we're going into the third quarter. You're watching Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. We like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy ourselves. We drink, we have libations, everything. We enjoy ourselves, and we'd like you to join in with us. So, as we salute our Philadelphia Eagles on their first week win against the Falcons and look forward to them facing the 49ers in game or round number 2 this coming Sunday, let's salute them with a toast. I'm doing the Terramana tequila by One Rock. Pat is matching me with the same, and Nichelle is sipping on her red wine. She's having a woosah. This must be her woosah time, because
I did. I had a huge presentation with a very large global company today, so I gotta chill.
We got a boss bitch on the joint. I'm sorry.
You better tell it.
I'm sorry.
You better tell it.
I should have got clearance first before.
You cleared.
Okay, all right. So we got a boss bitch.
You can clear the stage for that one.
All right, we got a boss bitch. I'm gonna
toot my horn today. I've been working hard. I'm gonna toot my horn today.
Yes.
Y'all need to know that she's not only on this show. If y'all look around the news, you will see her. She's around. All right. Anyway, here we go. Let's salute our boss bitch. We can do that. We're gonna salute our boss bitch.
All my boss bitches out there.
And all the boss bitches out there. In addition to our Philadelphia Eagles. So down the hatch we go. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the third quarter.
I see you, Rodney. I stopped calling you Yendor.
All right, so Neil is doing the Jaeger
bomb.
I do Jaeger bombs, yo. Dante is on a double doink. What I do? Double doink. What I do? Spell it out, Eric. I'm missing it. I would love to laugh too. All right, so that defense looked great. D-Rock says, I want the Washington football team. I wish we played them instead of the Falcons. Can't wait to see them. I think he said see them. We owe them some payback. We owe everybody some payback. After going 4-12, we owe everybody some payback.
Everybody we play deserves a whooping.
Yeah, they deserve
just on GP, just because we got a chip on our shoulder, we got an attitude.
Exactly.
Nobody believed in us. Everybody we play deserves a whooping.
All right, here we go, Pat. Go to the linebackers. Give me some insight.
So with the linebackers, you had pretty much every single linebacker that was available play. The starting linebacker crew was TJ Edwards and Eric Wilson. And they are pounding or short yardage type linebackers, because the Falcons came out in a set where they knew they was going to run the ball. They're not more or less the sideline duel. Eric Wilson missed a lot of tackles. When I say a lot of tackles,
Way too many.
four or more tackles is a lot of
Hmm.
tackles. He missed four tackles.
He got
Were
his ankles broken.
Yeah, he actually missed that
Now,
one tackle.
Tell me, was that early on? Because they missed. They were sloppy in the first
Well,
half. But
I'm gonna get you.
all
I'm gonna
right, go
get you
ahead, go
into
ahead. All
that.
right,
So that
all
was
right.
early on. You remember that converted third down and long where Cordell Patterson ran off to the right, our left side, their
Right,
right
right,
side.
yeah. I
Eric
remember that.
Wilson missed the tackle on the hole on a converted wide receiver. So
Okay, that's all right.
no, it's not all right. It's not all right for a linebacker
They
to miss.
cleaned it up. That's what I mean. They
It's
cleaned it
not
up.
okay for a linebacker to miss a clean shot on a wide receiver. All
I'm
right.
saying they
No,
cleaned
no,
it
no, no, no,
up,
no,
though,
no,
Pat.
no. I see the clip and you say, you know what, you're right, Pat.
He missed it, but he got better. He warmed up. He
Mm,
wasn't. He wasn't loose
he
yet.
got
He had to
better. He
stretch.
got better because they took him out. All
Oh,
right.
okay. See,
So
whatever
when they
works.
went with
See.
Alex Singleton and Sean Bradley, the two linebackers that have range, that can move sideline to sideline, that can do more things, the defense kind of expand. Instead of playing that 3-4 odd man front where you had Jannard Avery playing that rush defense at end, they went to more traditional Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, or Derek Barnett defense end. They put actually they moved Brandon Graham in the third quarter and brought Ryan Kerrigan in the game for a chance,
Mm.
and they start teeing off. When they started to have that four-man defensive front, that team started to tee off. You couldn't pass the ball deep because the defensive backs are in the position. Darius Slay missed a pick six because he wanted to be
Yeah.
cute and put his hand up there and wag his finger and do
Yeah.
the
He should have
Jalen
caught that.
Mills.
Yeah.
All right, the defense once they made the adjustments, and a lot of people go say, "Oh, they didn't make no adjustments. They just start playing real football." No, they made adjustments. If you go back to
Hmm.
that first half, you see the adjustment that was made. Instead of playing that 3-4 odd man front with two linebackers playing a pair zone, they went into a four. They basically went into a 4-2 with rush, with real defensive linemen, and became dominant. When it became dominant, the next thing you know, they actually put a fifth defensive lineman in there, and you couldn't stop that. They couldn't stop that. Their offensive line basically gave up. That was the play where Matt Ryan got sacked and it looked like he got killed. You want to see a dead body?
There's a lot of dead bodies. There was a
Yeah.
lot of. I mean, I still wasn't really happy with. I mean, I know they came back, they turned around, made adjustments, but you heard me post game that I thought Monday they
Well,
should have
did we
went back
really
to
hear you?
tackle drills. I know, I know, I know.
Did we really hear
You
you?
know, I was with some girlfriends. There was some personal things going on, so I had to spend that time.
Mm.
And I was there all weekend anyway, so I just, sorry,
Oh,
life
it's all right.
happens.
I'm just fucking.
But I wanted them to do tackle drills on Monday. I
You
didn't think
did.
defense.
You said
I
that.
didn't think defense should have a day off. To be honest with you, I was like, what?
But that was the filling out process. You got to understand something.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
filling out process of who should be in what packages, and you can see from that T.J. Edwards and Eric Wilson needs to be in like a short yardage package. They're the guys that go straight ahead and they can pound these guards and stand that front up. When a traditional offense between the 20 and the 20-yard line, you need to have speed linebackers out there that consist of guys that can make plays. Alex Singleton make plays. He had 8 tackles. He had 3 solo tackles. He basically was a tackle
Mhm.
machine. Then you have Sean Bradley, who's actually getting better. Had 5 tackles out there. He was, making plays left and right. And shout out to Brandon Graham, man. He probably had the tackle of the year, the form tackle of the year. He swim
Oh
moved
yeah,
that
when he
he swim moved that tackle.
yeah,
The guard and met their running back in the hole. He
in
said,
the chest, like boom, like yo, yeah, that was textbook right
but
there,
you know
yo.
what? It's a filling out process. So Michelle, I say this to you. I understand the how bad you got at this team for missing those tackles, but there is a filling out process of who should be playing in that linebacker core between the 20s and the 20. And
Well,
go ahead.
I'm just going to say, well, they had the team wrapped up in bubble wrap in the preseason,
They
and they
did.
had just unwrapped the bubble wrap off them. They weren't fresh yet, so it took like a quarter and a half, and then they like, oh yeah, this is football. We remember this. We haven't done a lot of this
Yes,
tackling,
yes.
this thing they call tackling in practice because they wrap us in bubble wrap. But now that we're open, they had to get back into the flow of making tackles. When we don't see a lot of the first stringers in the preseason games, in my mind, I know this is the new norm now that people are just trying to keep their team fresh until they bring them to the regular season. But in my mind, they don't get enough work. So I consider the first month of the season, September, as an extended training camp because a lot of these people they don't do two-a-days like they
Yeah.
did back in the day, and they practice on tackle and they were going hard and they were physical. Practice is not like that in training camp anymore. It's not as physical as it used to be. So tackling may be something that they have to work their way into, and we saw that at least in the first half or the first quarter and a half. That this team did not make tackles. They looked bad. That first two series, I was actually scared. I was like, oh my
Yeah,
God! I gave a sigh of relief because they only scored 2 field goals. But looking at them move up and down the field, I was like, oh, this don't look good at all.
We slowly had a dominant defense that we didn't think was a dominant defense. They kept the receptions from Calvin Ridley and Eric Pitts to a minimum. I think they had 6 catches, or let me see. Between them, they had 9 catches between them for a total yards of 82 yards between the two. Right? They're supposed to be dominant. They're supposed to average between 85 yards per player. They had a total of 82 yards total. It's amazing that look at this from Yindor. Ain't it
Rodney.
amazing, Rodney?
It's
Ain't it
Rodney.
amazing? Y'all be on for almost an hour and ain't mentioned the second corner, Steven Nelson. He's a great pickup. Listen, Steven Nelson was a great pickup. He had a few tackles and he made a few plays. They didn't go his way because the defensive line got the pressure in. I am
Wow.
not saying
Wow.
that.
I'm
This
gonna
what
give
we
him what he
doing?
asked for.
This
Y'all,
what we doing?
no,
He's
get
back.
him.
Who let him
Get
back?
him. Get
Come
him.
on, we not missing
Right
that.
now.
Why isn't he blocked?
Oh my goodness! Get him right
That's
now,
family.
everybody.
That's family.
Get
Get him.
And
oh
you
my
got
God.
him right under
And-
my face. Take his thing down. Come
taking
on,
that
stop
down.
playing with
And
me.
look,
You taking that down.
don't.
What are you doing? You taking it
I'm
down.
taking it down. Every time I take it down, you put it back up. All right, so that's our cousin right there. And don't take it easy on him just because you see the collar around his neck. No. I don't care.
I'll pray about it later.
A real
But I
person
ain't
of
taking it
God
easy.
would not wear cowboy stuff. See,
Nope.
that's
Nope.
you put your whole faith at risk when you wear a collar and then you profess to be a Cowboys fan.
Jerry
I
Jones.
don't know.
Jerry Jones is the Antichrist, and you up there serving the Cowboys.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to say,
Yo,
I'm saying.
You know what? We did go almost a whole hour. We did mention we finally
But
did
go ahead,
mention
go ahead.
Steve Nelson. We finally mentioned some of the linebackers. We talked about Fletcher Cox in defensive front. We talked about how dominant our offensive line was. The show mentioned Jalen Hurts doing his thing. We haven't even mentioned the rookies. We haven't even talked about.
We even
Devontae
talked about
Smith. We even talked
Devontae.
about Gainwell. How good Gainwell looked. He looked so good that
He's
Boston
on your
Scott-
squad, right? He's on
Yes,
your
he is.
team.
He's on.
He
He on
looks
your
so-
squad?
he
You
was
got
on
him?
He was on the bench though.
Oh, I got him on my other squad.
He looked so good that Boston Scott didn't even get a touch. That's
No,
how
he did
good he
not.
looked. And if that's just a little snippet of what it's gonna be, how the season's gonna go. I mean, once you're able to get Boston Scott involved in this type of offense, that rotation at running back is gonna be crazy because Miles Sanders was up to the task. Not only did
Yes,
he
he
catch the ball,
was.
not
Yes,
only did
he
he catch the ball,
was. Run,
he
Booby,
made
run.
miss. He made people miss. He got the yardage when we needed in the second half. Basically, that offensive line opened up those holes, and Miles Sanders made those runs come alive, man. But shout out to Devontae Smith. He scored in the same spot where he scored in that championship game.
Yeah.
They were roasting
as a
him.
freshman too.
Our
He did
Philly
that.
Statler and Wardolph, Maryland, Mike on the radio, because I was in the car for the first quarter, was talking about how he didn't keep his ball. Somebody didn't tell him to keep his first touchdown ball.
Yeah.
I think
But
he got it.
He said
Yeah,
somebody
somebody
got it.
Somebody got it for him. Yeah, they was like they didn't teach him that. They were going
But-
off on the radio about that.
I'm glad he brought up the fact of Steve Nelson because of dissecting the great job that the defense did, especially pitching the shutout in the second half. We always talk about the marriage between the pass rush and the secondary. So in years past, we might have had what we thought was a dominant defensive line, but we didn't have the secondary to back up that. And I think that we have a marriage made in heaven right now. The defensive line got the pressure, and our secondary is worthy. Is up to the task of playing behind such a dominating pass rush. They help each other. They go hand in hand. If you get there quick enough, you'll give the secondary some time to make some plays. And I agree with you. I think Darius Slay should have had an interception, the INT on that. But, he just batted it down. But
He
even
was being
seeing that,
cute.
after we've seen
He was being
the
cute.
sticks defense by Schwartz for the last 3 or 4 years, it was refreshing to see our secondary actually make some plays on the ball, pass breakups or whatever.
Yeah,
we didn't see the turnovers yet. But I'm going to predict that this week we see an interception. We're going to see an interception or two this
We're
week.
definitely going. We always get an interception against the 49ers. Jalen Mills did it. Alex Singleton did it. We always get somebody unexpectedly always get an interception and return it for a touchdown. So I'm ready for this shot, man.
All right, let's end this third quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, so that's the end of the third quarter. We're entering the fourth quarter, and you're watching Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook. That is by Eagles fans, for Eagles fans. We like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. I'm doing the Terramana Tequila by my man Rock, the Rock. Can you smell what the Rock is cooking? Pat is doing the same thing, and Michelle is sipping on some red wine, having a woosah moment. Because that's what boss bitches do. They go, they conquer the world, and then they have a woosah moment with some red wine at the end. Like, yeah, bitches, yeah, y'all know who I am. Y'all know what I do. All right, so that's
Having
what
my
we doing
Olivia
right
Pope
here.
moment.
Oh, that was my show, yo.
I never
love
watched
that show.
it. I
You
never
never
watched
watched that? Oh, that was the shot.
My
All
brother
right, so
Paz
here we
watched
go. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the fourth quarter.
Man, oh man, this team is gelling together.
Yes, looks like the coaches has them matching in the locker room and practice. They finally look like a full team. They do. I have to go all the way back to the first quarter when I mentioned that Nick Sirianni looked like he had this team prepared. They came out and they attacked. The first 15 plays were scripted beautifully. We haven't seen our first 15 scripted so beautifully.
Oh no,
since Frank Wright left the building.
I gotta stop you. I gotta stop
What?
you. I gotta stop
What?
you right now. He doesn't script the first 15.
He doesn't. I thought I saw a
No,
script.
he said he said, you know, they asked him, "Do you script your first 15?" He said, You can't handcuff yourself to the first 15 plays because how does it feel if that play works?
Well, I don't
why
know
not go back
because
to it?
BG said that the first 15 was scripted on his show on Monday night.
Because he went back to it. Sirianni said, and I quote, "You see, I ran that one screenplay to the left. It worked so well, we ran it again to the right. Back-to-back plays. If you script your first 15 plays, you don't run it again." He said it's a fill.
I think it's scripted, but I think not to the. He doesn't stick to the script. He allows flexibility.
I think it's
not
I
to
think it's
stick to the
scripted,
script.
but
Like he said, he went from one side to the next. That wasn't scripted. That play was, but it wasn't scripted for him to take it to the other side with Quez.
Yeah, I agree with that. So yeah, that appeases both of our points of view on this.
Yeah, it does.
That's what it looks like. As I definitely heard BG said that 15 plays was crucial, but nevertheless, whether they were scripted or not, they worked. That first drive was a thing of beauty. He kept the defense off balance and went down the field relatively easy, and that was encouraging too. Because after seeing Atlanta go down the field relatively easy, I was like, wow, what are we going to do here? This thing could get out of hand really.
Oh no, he lost
really
the bet.
quickly.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Kelsey lost a bet with Ertz. Yeah,
is that why his hair was blonde?
Do you know
I had no idea why Kelsey was looking like Ertz. What was the bet?
The bet was Ertz said he would be on the team at the beginning of this season. and he was on the team
Yeah,
at the beginning of the
it's a
season.
family atmosphere out there because they're joking around,
Wow.
they're betting each other, and they're having
Wow.
fun right
So
now.
Ertz
So,
knew he wasn't going nowhere.
yeah, Erskine was
Right.
going nowhere.
Hurst knew he was going nowhere. All right, so the
I gotta
defense
do this
again.
before you
All
go
right,
any
go ahead.
farther. I gotta give a game ball out to somebody, man.
Okay, good. Do it.
Somebody that you wouldn't even expect. I gotta give the game ball to the punter.
I knew that was
Oh
coming. I
yeah,
knew
oh
that
yeah,
was
oh yeah,
Yo,
oh
coming.
Sip
yeah,
balls.
oh
How you
yeah,
call it? Was it Andy Sip?
oh yeah.
I don't
Aaron
even. I
Sip
can't even
balls?
pronounce his name. But
Yo,
yo, he
this
was
dude.
putting them behind the
He
10.
had 3 inside the 20. He had a average of 47 yards, but his long was 54. But they were all inside the 20. Well, they always inside the 5 yard line. Let's be honest. He's our secret sauce right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, field
and
position is a whole nother battle.
Yes, it is.
that's very key, field position. And then you think about who we lost, because we lost a very good punter last year.
Yeah, we did.
Johnson was a great punter, and I was disappointed because I know people don't pay attention to the punters and the kickers, but they play a big role, especially
Aussie
in
love
field
over
position.
here. Tony,
right?
you got to bring on all the other Australian fans from down under
Oh,
because
we got
this
two
is
Aussies
the
on this team.
team.
That's
This is
crazy.
the team. We we got Mulata. Come on, we got our punter.
Oh
You
yeah,
got you got
we're
you got you got to
invested.
bring them all in.
Oh, we got to crack somebody on here. So it's a 17 game season. So if we go 12-4, we still have one more game. So we will go 12-5.
No, somebody said 12-5.
Yeah.
I
That's
smell it.
doable.
12 and
I know
5.
we're
Look,
going to have a 10-win season. I
all right,
feel
let me go to
strongly
some
about that.
comments since everybody's out there talking. Slay is going to thrive in zone defense scheme. I hope so. It worked the first week. I just hope it continues. I can't wait to see the second week. I mean, as excited and anxious as I was to see the first week, I can't wait to see this team go against who they consider a good team, because they didn't consider Atlanta a good team. I'm not falling into the trap of them moving the goal line like you said, Michelle, but I am looking forward to seeing what they do against what the critics consider a good team.
But
Now,
how
if
many
we beat
wins did
them,
49ers have last year?
yeah,
I don't know. I
yeah.
don't get
And
it.
Did they
they're
make the
considered a
playoffs?
good team?
Hey, fun fact. I got a fun fact for you guys.
What's that?
The Philadelphia Eagles was the only team in the NFL this past week to not give up a play over 20 or more yards.
Yeah. That bend don't break. Yeah, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. Now though, I need to see the turnovers. If we get the
Yes.
turn, if we can
We had a
put
turnover,
some
man.
turnover-
Matt Ryan fumbled that, man. He threw it to the ground.
Matt Ryan, yeah.
No,
Oh my goodness.
What's it? No.
All right, so it's the fourth quarter. We can start to talk about now what we're expecting to see from the 49ers here. It was a great game. We covered what we have seen in that victorious win over the Falcons last week. But let's turn our attention to the 49ers this week. They're supposed to be a better team. They have an offensive coordinator or head coach who is deemed as one of the smarter offensive minds in the game today. What's his name? I got a brain fart. Shanahan, yeah, Mike Shanahan.
Kyle Shanahan.
Kyle Shanahan.
Mike is his father.
Mike is his father, yeah. Kyle Shanahan. So we are facing one of the brilliant offensive minds, and they are supposed to be a contender. So what does it say if we go in and we smack them down? Will we finally
You mean
get some
win?
respect?
No, we won't get
When
no
we go in
No,
there and
because
smack
then they're
them
going to
down?
talk about the 49. They're going to talk about all the 49ers flaws, and they're going to move the goalposts again. That's what's going to
That's
happen.
weak. That's weak.
That's
weak.
what's going to
Every
But
happen.
you know,
Every
we're
week
not going to
there
let them off the hook here
No,
in
we're
Philadelphia.
not.
So you could do all that talk you want, but let us smack down San Fran. You can say what the hell you want to say. You can say what the hell you want to say.
Man,
if we
if
smack
we-
down San Fran, it's on.
If we come
It's
out here
on.
with another 30-point win, if we come out here with another like 30 to the 9, right? Then
It's
they're gonna
on.
say They're gonna say, "Oh no, they didn't play Trey Lance." Watch, watch. It's
Mhm.
gonna be a reason why we
Mhm.
won this game. It's gonna be a reason why, besides the obvious, that we actually have a good team. We got weapons. Jalen Rager is actually playing with confidence. Devontae Smith, a rookie, cannot be covered. Every single play that he ran, every single route he ran, he was open on. He didn't get the ball every single time, but most of his routes he was wide open.
And
Uh,
early on, Quez was, very involved,
Yeah.
and
Oh
then they
yeah. They.
started spreading it
Mm.
out to the tight ends and the other wideouts. But
I think this
we
week
got
we're gonna
weapons on
switch up.
top of weapons. I'm really not worried about us being able to score, but we need to
Yeah,
definitely
we're,
tighten
we're
up
going
our
to switch it up this
defense.
week. I think what's going to happen is we're going to go 5 defensive man in front. I really think we're going to go 5 defensive man in front and force them to be more physical than we are. And to be honest with you, we have the better defense and offensive line. We have the more dominant guys as a combined unit, not just one individual or two individuals. As a combined unit, we have a better offensive and defensive line. We can dominate this game.
Let them know, Pat. Let them know who
And
we are. Beat
that's
your
where the
chest.
battles that's where the battles are won along the
That's right.
trenches, and we do have a awesome defensive and offensive line, barring injuries. Come out and they started the season and showed why they should be the anchors of the team
Hmm.
because they definitely uh, drove that win. I mean, the defensive line, 3 sacks, two by Hargrave, one by uh, who's that? Ridgeway,
Hmm.
and the offensive line with the Mulata. I remember I kept rewinding that not
Yo,
the pancake one. That was obvious when he
yeah.
just wiped that guy out.
He
That
just
was
like
he.
he's
That
like
was
this. Get over
almost.
it.
Matter of fact, I prayed for that guy. I said, God, please just allow
But
him
you
to
know
get
what?
up
We
and
do got some.
continue his career because Mulata just killed this guy. Bring
Yeah,
him back to life. Resurrect him, please, God. And then that's okay. But the block that impressed me
Hey,
the most
Sue.
and showed me how strong this guy was the one you talked about, Pat. When he was helping out and he just shoved the guy with his right arm.
yeah. That's
And
power.
he wasn't even
That's
the
power.
assignment. He just was near him and he shoved him with his right arm and wiped him out. I'm like, oh
But you know
my
what?
God, this guy's a monster. Oh my
This this
goodness.
week he is going to get somebody that's almost the same size. So we're looking at Nick Bosa. You got to understand, Nick Bosa is a play on his side. Nick Bosa plays on the left defensive side, which is the right offensive side. So Nick Bosa is going to be go against Lane Johnson. This week, we have he had Malata has to go against Eric Armstead, who's 6'7", 300 pounds. So it's going to be an eye to eye, chest to chest, uh, Godzilla versus
King Kong.
King Kong match. It's going to be back and forth like that all game. I can't wait to see that. Like I wish I could just focus on the trenches because that's going to be exciting to watch to see how dominant each person can be. This is it's going to be a good game on the line. And it's going to show who has the most dominant line in the NFC. Period. All
All
right.
right, so in closing, like,
Yeah.
all right, we
All
can't
right.
we
Let's
can't get
go.
we can't get too high on how we want to see these wins. I hear what Rich is saying. I want to see the same things too. I want to see a bomb the quiz. I want to see that
They're not
also.
gonna let you. They
Um,
play 3 deep. They play a 3 deep zone. If
so
anybody
we're
knows anything
probably
about
not going
three
to see
zone,
that.
it's gonna be short and over the middle. Get things open like we did against the Falcons.
All
Same
right,
kind
so
of
don't
defense.
get married to seeing those big plays.
Yeah.
Just marry yourself to seeing a win because that's all I want to see. Like I said before, I don't care if we win 3-2. I just want to see a win. I
That's
would
right. A
love to see
W is a
the
W.
a
I don't care
W is a
how we get
W.
there. It could be scrappy. It could be close. It could be tight. A W is a W.
I would love to see the bomb, the Quez. I would love to see Devontae Smith get a lot of long down the field catches and all that. But if it happens to be exactly like we saw this past week, where Hurts took what the defense gave them, I'm all on board with that also. So
Hmm.
let's keep an open mind, guys. If we're asking for wins here, we can't be so picky that we wanted to see them a certain way. We just want
No,
to see a
no.
W. I
I
just
just
want to
want to
see
see
a
Yo, a
W. I
W.
don't
win
care if it's
is a
by a
win.
point.
A win is a win unless it's a win.
Right. Exactly. Yo.
All right.
Yo, I'm gonna go to some comments as we close. But Neil says Cox and Big G is going, and BG is always will be the beast of the defensive line. Kyle says Mailata still has 40 on him. Did you see him when he picked up Smith after his TD? He was like 10 feet in the air. Mailata is a monster of a man. He is. He's a big dude.
He's a big dude.
Lois says Lane Johnson had at least 3 penalties. I hope they fix that issue.
It is.
That's
the
only knock, and I attribute that to coaching. When the team is not disciplined enough to not get penalties like that, I do attribute that to coaching.
But
so
he's
that's
a veteran.
The
he should know better.
Right.
Yeah, and the coach just said that. We got to be smart on penalties. You don't need talent to not have. So coach just said that. So
Bill says yes, a win is a win. Kyle says it's going to be quick slants and pound the rock. Let's go. I'm with that. Michael says Greenlaw out. We will run all over them in a 3-deep set. Whatever we need to do. If there's some people hurt, some key people that's hurt, let's take advantage of it. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do.
Like I said, DeMeco Ryans always developed some good linebackers. So it was Fred Warner, Greenlaw, some unnamed people. They'll be ready in the linebacker set. But you know what? We're going to dominate regardless.
No, Kevin says, do you think we might get some type of trade? Well, Kev, I don't know exactly now, but I think it's very early. It's too early to even speculate what type of trade we may be able to pull off before the trade deadline. Usually when you go into the season at this point, after you get past like this, me personally, once you get into training camp, there's rarely any blockbuster trades that go on unless there's a big injury, like the year we won the Super Bowl or the year before we won the Super Bowl and Carson Wentz's rookie year, we pulled that blockbuster trade with Sam, what's his name? Sam Bradford, and that's because their quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater, went down. So we pulled that. But usually, when you go into training camp, there's not a lot of big blockbuster
The stars are going to
trades.
have to align for something like that to happen.
Yeah. So I don't see anything big happen, although we saw Ajayi come in during our Super Bowl year.
That was a good trade there.
Represent though, cuz keep representing. Y'all know Kevin's my cousin, right? So if y'all get out of line, he got shotguns. Just so you know.
Okay.
Just so
I
you
got guns too, motherfucker. I got guns.
You all got guns. What are you talking about? I got Tackleberries and brother.
Like and his brother and my cousin is Tackleberry. Literally, he's Tackleberry.
No, it's all love. It's all love here.
I'm only kidding. Look, we're gonna get out of here, man.
Let's go to the range.
Yeah, I know. I got a lot of ammo, yo. I just ordered like 750 bullets, yo. I'm good. I'm ready to go. And I just got my 9.2. I haven't. All right. Anyway. All right. Look. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. This is Eagles Talk. We enjoy the whole thing, man. We thank you guys. We love you guys so much for tuning in and supporting us, man. Continue and make sure that if you're not subscribed to the Eagles Talk channel, go to our page and subscribe. Let's get our numbers. We're at like 6.7 thousand. Let's get up to 7,000. Come on, help us out. Get us up to 7,000 followers.
Yeah, share it with all your friends.
Share it with all your friends.
We need more folks from down under up here. Come on. The Eagles team's representing. So let's
go to Facebook. Go to YouTube and like us too.
And go to YouTube also. That's your homework right there. Do that. But in the meantime, make sure you meet us back here on Sunday. What time is our game? 1 o'clock Sunday?
1 o'clock.
Okay, so meet us here on Sunday at 12 p.m. for the pregame Eagles Talk show before we face the San Francisco 49ers, before we beat them down. Come here and check out the pregame with us. Eagles Talk. I'm your man, Dante the Dark Knight. For my co-host, Pat Sandlin and Nichelle, we're out of here. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Peace.
We go live in 5, 4, 3, 2. Smash him up, crack that fool. Quarterback crack, yo, sack that fool. Hit him, 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 hit him. Smash him up.